Alright guys, so as I'm sure a lot of you have heard, there was a leak with quotations because you have to take these things with a grain of salt. There was basically a leak of Naughty Dog's whole upcoming schedule, which is really interesting. There's a bunch of stuff that they talked about. They talked about a new Uncharted collection that would be coming to PC and include Golden Abyss. They talked about their new IP that could be in the works, and they talked about The Last of Us Part 2, which is going to be the focus of this video. Now, they talked about the multiplayer, which, they didn't really say anything of significance with that, just they're still working on it, and that they might reveal it alongside DLC, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So they are saying that Naughty Dog has some Abby DLC planned. Neil Druckmann has gone and said that they are not working on any standalone DLC for The Last of Us Part 2. Neil Druckmann has said a lot of things in the past, okay? But, he said that, and then people stopped talking about that for a while, but then this leak comes out. Now, as soon as this comes out, you have all these people on Twitter arguing about, I don't want to see Abby DLC, I don't want to see this character anymore, and then you have people saying, I want it to be Ellie, and then you have people saying, no, I want to see Abby DLC. Now, in terms of what I want to see Abby DLC, I think that that'd be a great DLC choice for The Last of Us Part 2, and here's why. For a lot of people talking about how they want to see an Ellie DLC instead, I think that Ellie now is probably going to be the heart of The Last of Us. It was her and Joel. Obviously, if they did make a part 3, I'm sure Joel would show up briefly, but he would definitely not be as relevant as he was in part 2, and not nearly as relevant as he was in part 1. So Ellie is going to be the backbone of the series, and maybe Abby will be as well. But for Ellie's story to continue, wouldn't you want that to be fleshed out in a full game instead of DLC, right? So if they're gonna choose to make a DLC on Abby, wouldn't that just further implicate that they're leaving Ellie's story to continue for a main game? So all these people saying that they want to see an Ellie DLC, I think you need to think about this and what that would mean for the future of the franchise. And again, I love the character of Abby. Shoot me, I don't care. And so I would love to see DLC with Abby and possibly Lev. But then the question of the validity of these statements. Anyone could have said this. This literally was just said in midair, so this could be 1,000,000% true, or it could be 1,000,000% false, and someone just pulled it out their ass. So you need to take these things with grains of salt. Has stuff like this come out and ended up being true in the past? Yes, absolutely. But this isn't, people are calling this a leak, but this really isn't a leak. This is a rumor. This is somebody claiming it's a leak, because a leak, what happened in part 2 back in, was it April or May? What happened back then, that was a leak. Those were leaks, okay? This is not a leak. This is strictly a rumor. And I think it's really interesting because I don't think Naughty Dog has made any great statements on it. I think Neil Druckmann is messing around, and he's retweeting people talking about leaks, and then they have video of him singing or something. So I'm sure that they're aware of the situation. But the question is, are they going to draw any more light on it? So yeah, right now we don't have any confirmation for standalone DLC. We know that they're working on factions, and that will be coming soon, or just at some point in the future. They have not revealed any new IP they have yet in the works, so right now everything is strictly up in the air in terms of what the facts are. But this definitely is interesting, and I think if they actually are making an Abby DLC, then I think the future of the Last of Us franchise, that's really exciting for it. You may disagree with me, but that's my opinion. And I think that if there is an Abby DLC, because even though I love the character of Abby, I still prefer Ellie. She's always going to be The Last of Us to me. And so I think that them making an Abby DLC would just further point to them focusing more on Ellie if they did a Last of Us Part 3. So that is my opinion on the whole situation. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. And that's it from me. I'll see you with the factions video soon.